Hello, I'm here today to speak to you about Life Choices, which is a pregnancy care center that is located in Greenfield, Indiana. This is a center that I am very passionate about personally. My church has been involved with helping them out, and they do such a good work in their community, and they are so efficient, and they are so caring and compassionate. Their whole purpose is to seek to prevent abortions by their support of unwed mothers through the use of monetary aid, time contributions, and spiritual support. It is amazing what they do on a daily basis. The people that they affect, the change that they cause, and the difference that they make is amazing. And it is something that I would encourage you to be a part of. I would encourage anyone to be a part of. It's incredible what they do. They save lives on a daily basis. For many people, pregnancy can be an incredibly overwhelming time, especially for someone who's unprepared, for someone who hasn't planned that pregnancy, who is caught off guard by that pregnancy, who is maybe shocked by that pregnancy. And during this time, they can be bombarded with a huge list of lies that the people around them are telling them. Here are some of those lies and the reasons why they are lies, and how we can help them see through those lies, how we can help them see that these things are just, they're not true. And though they may seem true in the moment, when you look at this from a long-term basis, when you look at this years into the future, you'll see that these things don't actually matter, they're not true, and they're coming from people who want to scare you into doing what they think you should do. One of these is just the pressure from family members, friends, or maybe even the father of the child to eliminate the baby before it becomes an issue, before it causes problems. For many people, they have their life perfectly planned out. Maybe they have a 5-year plan, maybe they have college, they have these 4 years they want to go, they want to get their degree, maybe they want to get a really good job, and they want to save up money, and they want to be financially stable. Maybe they just want to get married without having a kid before that marriage, which is, to be fair, usually the typical way that people plan their lives. So for many people, because we are human and because we are inherently selfish, this becomes something where we look at our own needs before we look at the needs of the babies, and we say, well, if this is going to affect my life, then I don't want it. I'm just going to get rid of the problem, everything will go back to normal, and we can forget that this ever happened. For many people, that is the thought process they have behind wanting to get an abortion. Another issue is that many people believe that it simply isn't ethical to bring a child into a world like the one that we currently live in. To be fair, we live in a very difficult world at times, and there are so many issues and there are so many problems, and life is so imperfect. And no, you can't guarantee that baby a life of perfection. You can't guarantee that baby a life of pure happiness at all times. But that doesn't negate the fact that you should give that child a chance to experience a life, a chance to make their own decisions, to make their own mistakes, to live for God and to make a difference in His kingdom. Another thing that may come up is that some unwed mothers feel as if they can't properly care for themselves, so how on earth are they going to be able to care for a newborn baby? This is a hard one because yes, it is true. Sometimes mothers literally, they don't have the finances, they don't have what it's going to take to care for a child, and they see that and they know that, and they're not unaware of that fact. And so that gives them another reason to say, okay, well, maybe I can just get rid of the baby, and then I won't have to worry about that. I won't have that burden on my shoulders. Another false belief that is commonly pushed is that having a child out of wedlock will isolate the person from their peers. It's the thought that, okay, if I have a baby and all of my other friends are either single or they're married and they don't have kids, that's going to push me to the outside, and I'm going to be on the outside looking in, and what do I do with that? I'm just going to be all by myself with this child to care for, and life is going to lose all excitement and all fun, and it's just going to be difficult, and it's going to be hard. But that's false. It really is. Because when a baby comes into the world, people want to help the mother. They want to support the mother. They see that need and they want to help her meet that need. People bond together in times like this, and her family members, her friends, they're going to come together and they're going to support her. And that responsibility is not going to be completely on her shoulders. She's going to have that help. She's going to have that support. Something to remember is that pregnancy is beautiful, no matter how hopeless the circumstances may appear. As a mother, choosing life is one of the most impactful choices that you could ever possibly make. Just giving that baby the chance, giving that baby the opportunity to live their life. It's something that I don't think many mothers regret after they choose not to have an abortion. Life is so valuable. Its worth is completely immeasurable. Life is a miracle, and I think we take that for granted. We take for granted that we can bring we can carry a baby in our womb for 9 months, and then bring them into the world, and they're so tiny and they're so helpless, but they're alive and they're perfect, and we can help them, and we can help them grow, and we can teach them, and they can learn, and they can grow up to be successful people. That is miraculous, and I think we take it for granted way too often. The value that God puts on life is incredible. He is the giver of life, and who are we to say that this life doesn't have value, that this life we don't want it, so we're not gonna let it come into the world? That is not our place. That is not within our realm of rights. That's something else that often comes up, is that a woman has rights, and that it is her body, and that she should be able to make that choice. But it's two separate bodies. It's not, the baby is not a part of the mother's body. It's a separate body. It's a separate person, and that person has rights. So who are we to take that away? God puts so much value on that life, and we don't have the right to do that. It comes down to that. We do not have the right as humans to choose when a life has value and when it doesn't. A great statistic that I personally think is amazing is that 78% of those who witness their ultrasound will choose not to have an abortion. Something that's super cool is that Life Choices offers free ultrasounds to all of their patients. And if this is preventing 78% of abortions, just imagine the impact they're making on their community. Imagine the lives that they are saving by offering that as a free service. I think that is one of the coolest things about the center. Something else that people don't tell these mothers is that the trauma from having an abortion will leave permanent emotional scars that the mother will never be able to get rid of. Often when people are considering an abortion, they're thinking of their momentary circumstances. They're thinking of the present. They're thinking of how this is going to affect them right now. But having an abortion often leaves incredible scars that never go away. Sometimes they don't even fade, and that's something that the mother will have to carry with her for the rest of her life. It's a big deal. Another thing to be considered is maybe the mother, she just, depending on her circumstances, maybe she just doesn't have what it takes to care for the baby, and it's an impossibility. Adoption is beautiful. Adoption is a great option for that, because the mother is able to have the child, to give that child life, but then she doesn't have to care for the baby for years and years afterwards, and she can still give the child the gift of life, and maybe the gift of finding a better home. Life Choices is in the business of making a difference in the lives of their patients. You can be involved in their ministry, the various forms of donation. We all know that financial gifts are always encouraged. That's a common fact. But this is a business. It takes money to run. It takes a great amount of funds. You have to pay the employees. You have to keep up with the building costs. You have to, there's a huge list of things that they have to pay for. And if they're offering free services, they're not getting that money from their clients, obviously. So this is a huge need at Life Choices, is just money, just financial aid. So if you have a little extra, if you are looking to donate to a good cause, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Whatever you have to give, it's always welcomed, it's always received. Something else that is kind of a fun option for raising money, this is a good choice for churches perhaps. You can go and you can pick up a bunch of empty baby bottles and you can bring them back to your church. You can distribute them to your churchgoers, to your members, whoever. They can take them home, they can fill them up with loose change. Maybe you have change just sitting in your car that you never use. Maybe you have a bunch in the bottom of your huge purse. Maybe you have some just in like a dish at your house. That is something that doesn't require a huge sacrifice. But if a bunch of people are doing that and they fill up the baby bottles, they bring them back to church and church brings them back to Life Choices, they can get a sizable amount of money from that, and that is an excellent option. Another thing would be material gifts, such as clothing, bedding, diapers, and food products. These are in high demand for expectant mothers. If you've ever had a child, you know how incredibly expensive that it can be. It can put a strain on the mother for sure. Diapers alone, the amount of diapers a baby goes through in one day is ridiculous. And that price can rack up, that can add up very quickly. So diapers, food products, baby clothes. Babies grow so quickly, they need new clothes all the time. And if you add up all of these things, that's a pretty large amount of money. And so these mothers are so grateful if they get anything that is any material gifts like these. Life Choices is operated by compassionate people who care enough to step out and meet a need in their community. You can get behind them and you can offer your time by volunteering in various positions. No matter what your personality may be, no matter what skills you have to offer or what strengths that you have or think that you have, there's an option for you, there's a choice for you, there's a way that you can help out personally. Maybe you're handy, maybe you're good with maintenance and you can fix problems and you can, whatever they may be, you're good with that, you're good with your hands. This is a building, this is a business, they always have problems like that. So you can maybe offer your services as a handyman, maybe you own a business, you could do that, or maybe you could just volunteer on the side. Center cleaning is a big deal. It's very important that they keep their facilities clean and sterile and presentable to their patients. So if you're good at cleaning, if you do that maybe for your job, you could offer this, and they would be so grateful for that. Maybe you're really good with people. Maybe you love making small talk. Maybe you love just getting to meet new people all the time. If so, they have receptionist positions, which would be excellent for that. And you'd be a perfect fit. You get to know the mothers on a personal basis. You get to meet with them and talk with them as they're coming in. There are so many options, but these are just a few. Something that you can do no matter who you are, no matter how much time you have, is to be a prayer intercessor. I think we undervalue the power of prayer when in all reality that is the most valuable gift we can give to people, is if we pray for them. There's so much power behind that, and God will intercede through our prayers. I believe they have like a texting chain or something similar to that you can be a part of, and they can send out urgent requests that need immediate prayer, and you can sign up for that, and then you can be one of the prayer intercessors. And I think that might be the most valuable thing that you can offer to Life Choices. I have so many good things to say about this. They're doing incredible work in their community, and I would encourage anyone who has a little extra time on their hands to go and support these amazing people. They're doing such a good work, and they're saving lives. I have this one friend who found herself in a similar situation where she was pregnant, she wasn't married, and she felt hopeless. And she felt like the only option that she had was to get rid of the baby. And then my mom recommended her actually to this certain pregnancy center, and she ended up having the baby. And I just see her now, and I see how happy she is. I see her with this beautiful baby boy, and how she's doing so well, and how her life would be lacking if she didn't have that baby. I think it's amazing, and that child probably would not be here without pregnancy care centers like Life Choices. Go out and support. You'll be glad that you did.